This is H8 day 1 and we've got quite a bit of revision in this list. So the main things are we're revising the AR says R in carpet, target, market, garden. Then we're looking at the what where we have the WH, and remember if you say what and there's air after the W, you know to put the H in, whereas if you say a word that just starts with the W, there's no air after the W, the W sound, so there's no H to be written in. But these all have the H in them. So we've got whale, white and while. Then we've got the A sound at the end of a word. We only use AY at the end of a word. We don't like it in the middle of a word because we don't like Ys in the middle of English words. So we've got midday, display, array. Now, because that's a short at sound, we've got to double that R after it. Okay, now there's quite a lot of other revision in here. So ET at the end, it. When you hear it at the end, you're writing ET at the end of those words. So these have a schwat sound. We don't pronounce them exactly as they should be. We shorten it to a grunt sound. So we go rather than saying garden, we would say garden. So it's like a and this is an sound. So it's a bit of a grunt at the end, which we call the schwat sound. Whale, we've got the E making the previous vowel long. In white, we've got the E making the previous I make its long sound I. While we've got the E making the previous I make its long sound I. Midday is two parts that we've joined together over time. So we've got the double D in there. Display and array we've talked about. So quite a lot in this list really. So you know that carpet is something like a rug that you put on a floor. It's quite a nice soft covering on our feet. A target is where you might shoot an arrow at a target. If you do archery, you might throw a ball at a target to practice your throwing. Where you try and hit something, you try to get the bullseye. A market is somewhere where you could go to buy things. It could be little stalls set up where you can buy fruit and vegetables, that sort of thing. A garden is where things grow, and a garden usually is where we actually look after the plants that are growing there, and we can have some flowers and trees and lawn and things. Sometimes you have playground equipment in it. A whale is a very big animal that lives in the ocean. White is a colour. It's you might say it's snow white, which means it's very white, so snow is a colour. Snow is white in colour. While means a little bit of time. So I will see you in a while. It means I will see you in a little bit of time. So it could be a long while or a short while, but it's referring to time. Midday is noon, or it's in the middle of the day. It's when the clock, both hands of the clock are facing the 12, and that's usually when we have our lunch. Display means that you might go to a shop or a hall or a special show where they display, where they show things for us to look at. An array is where you lay things out in an organised manner to show them. So it might be an array of chocolates or an array of something special that you might be looking to buy. Okay, let's read the words, sound the words, spell the words, and then write them, and don't forget to cover them and then check them. So we've got, let's break these into syllables. So we've got carpet, 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 C-A-R-P-E-T. This is H8, and we're looking at the day 2 page where we're revising AR for the R sound, as in carpet, target, market, garden, and the what the sound as in whale, white and while, and the long A sound at the end of the word is AY. So we've got midday, display, array. So you have learnt all these sounds before. They're just in words that are a little bit harder. So if you have a look, there's some other patterns you can see as well. So in carpet, you can hear the et at the end. We don't usually pronounce it all that clearly, but it's et at the end of those words. Garden, we give it a bit of a grunt sound, a schwat sound, but we know it's E-end at the end. Now in whale, we've got the E making the A make a long sound. In white, the E making the I make its long sound. And in while, the E making the I make its long sound as well. So to know whether you have an H after a W, remember our little trick where you put your hand in front of your mouth when you say the word. If there's air after the W, you know there's an H. If there's no air after the W, you know there's no H. So try it. Whale, yes there is air, so there's an H. White, yes there is air, so there's an H. And while, yes there is air, so there's an H in after the W there too. Now if we look at the next set, we know we use AY at the end of a word for the long A sound. We don't like AYs in the middle of words, so we wouldn't use this as a long A sound in the middle of a word. So the other things we've got here is we've got two words joined together, midday, and the other reason we have a double D there is because this is a short sound and we like two consonants after a short sound in a long word. So here we've got display and here we've got array. So if that is making a short sound, which it should, we know we need those two R's there in array. Okay, so let's read the word sound, the word spell the word, and then write it. And make sure you've done all that colouring too at some point. So we've got carpet, C-A-R-P-E-T. We're going to cover it and write it. Okay, the next one is target. You can finish all of those on your own. Write the list word to match the picture. We've got a whale. What would that one be? Probably a market. And you can look at those and fill those ones in too. Now, finish and write the word next to its meaning. Midday, we're going to add the missing phonograms. And then you've got to find the word that means this. A floor covering is a carpet. So you've got to find a list word that would fit in there. You can go through all of those and finish them. Now, down the bottom, this is a highlight activity where you've got to sort them into groups. So the two groups are the words that start with WH and the words that start with a W. So this is where you're going to have to actually say the words to work out and justify that that H is there. So was, no air, no H. So we'll make all the ones with just a W red. Say, you can make whatever colours you like, and I'm going to do all the ones with the WH blue. So go through and read them all. See if you're finding it difficult to sense whether there is air after the W or not, then you're really going to have to remember the words that have WH at the start of them and the words that have W at the start of them. It's close to 5,000 words, so you'd probably be best, find it much quicker and easier actually to do the little what trick. Otherwise that's an awful lot of words for you to learn. Okay, off you go. Okay, write the words. We're on to H8 day 3 and we're revising the R, the W and the A. AY for the long A sound. So we've got carpet, target, market, garden, whale, white, while, midday, display, array. Okay, so in these words we're reading them, sounding them and spelling them and writing them. We're just going to break these ones into syllables, whereas these ones we can sound them. So I'll do one of each sort for you to make it a bit easier. So we've got carpet, carpet, C-A-R-P-E-T. So just break them into their syllables, which would be like that. And whale, wh-a-l, W-H-A-L-E. And then midday can split those into their syllables too. Midday, display, array. Okay, so down here we've got verb family. So we've got carpeting, targeted, carpeted, marketed, marketing, targeting, gardened and gardening. No, the big thing here is that we've got to work out whether we are doubling the last letter of the base word or not when we add these suffixes on. So the first thing is, we ask, is it a one-syllable word? Carpet. Is it a one-syllable word? No. So you go straight over here and you write the word carpet. You're not doubling the T because we said it's not a one-syllable word. Carpet is 2 syllables, so you just write it without doubling that last letter. Targeted, target. Is target a one-syllable word? Target, no. So it means you don't have to worry about any of these, and you can write targeted by just adding the ED. You don't have to double the last letter. You can finish the rest of those on your own. So with all of these, why don't we double the last letter? You're going to find out why we don't double the last letter. It's got something to do with how many syllables are in the words. Fill in the gap with the missing list word and extension. The something will be laid at something. Well, that's a pretty easy one. The carpet will be laid at midday. This one's a bit trickier. The shop is something, the new something of hats. The shop is displaying the new array of hats will be the correct answer. You can do the last two on your own, but make sure you fill them all in. Comparatives and superlatives, remember, when we compare two things, to make one say more than the other, we add er, so we'd have whiter. If the e's are already there, you just need to add the r, you don't need to add another e as well. And superlatives means a big group of things, a super group of things. If we want to find out what means the most, we add est quite often to the end of the word. So we have white, whiter, whitest. And even when you're adding the est to the word white, you don't have to add the e because the e is already there. You just have to add the st. All right, have a go at doing that. H8, day 4, we're talking about open and closed syllables. So a closed syllable, in that it says the short vowel a is followed by a consonant. The syllable is closed in by the consonant. So it's like a brick wall. The consonant at the end is like a brick wall that's stopping this letter here from growing into a long sound. It's staying as a short sound. So when we have the consonant after this letter, after this vowel, we know that this vowel is making its short sound. Now, if it's open, if there's not a brick wall there, this letter here will grow into its long sound. This vowel will take on its long sound. So this will be n-ap, it's a closed syllable. This is an open syllable, there's no consonant at the end of it. The syllable ends with a vowel and the vowel is making a long sound. Nothing comes after the long vowel E. The syllable is open because nothing is keeping it in. It's open. So say these syllables, I'll sort these syllables into open or closed. So the open are going to be blue. So remember, we're looking for any syllable that ends with a vowel and it's going to be making its long sound. So we'd have die, a. You can do the rest of those ones. The green ones are going to end in a consonant. So we have to look. Yes, T is a consonant, so we'd have ket, and that would have to make a short sound. The vowel's making a short sound. Rack, rack. So go through and you can finish doing those yourself. Then we're going to make a word using these closed syllables. So we've got get, ket, tell, sick, pen, den. Carl likes to owe something gifts on Christmas Day. Carl likes to has to be one of these syllables, remember, open. And then I've used that so I can cross it off. You can finish the rest of those on your own. You've just got to finish the word to make the sentence make sense. Now down the bottom we're making some compound words. So we've got things like lunchbox, just join them together. It's pretty easy. You can finish the rest of those on your own.